Plenty to look forward to in terms of the Seagulls, as there is with the Tigers, who make their way out onto Leichhardt Oval.
There's plenty of changes for the Tigers as far as their roster for this season is concerned. Tyrone Peachey, one of them, getting the chance to begin the season in the 13 jumper. We'll see if he can make that his own after being the first choice 5'8" for the Titans at the end of 2021. They hit the field here, coming out from underneath the Latcham Robinson stand at famous old Leichhardt. There is one of the new boys in Tyrone Peachey.
Well, they'll be looking for Peachey around the ruck. Very dangerous, good on his feet. Very well balanced athlete, Tyrone Peachey. Moving from the Titans. As we said, the pressure on the Tigers here. It's a pre-season game, but the way they finished last year, desperate to get some confidence coming into round one. They'll take on the Storm in round one. So it's a big challenge, and they'll want to be at their best by that time.
Now, just before kick-off, we will pause for a moment to remember the late Olsen Filipaina, the groundbreaking Kiwi legend, passing away last week at the age of 64.
Ladies and gentlemen, the West Tigers would like to extend its condolences to the family of Olsen Filipaina following his recent passing. Olsen was a much-loved member of the club who played 81 games for the Balmain Tigers across 5 seasons in the early 80s. Known as the Big O, he scored 19 tries and 83 goals. And he also had the opportunity and honour of representing New Zealand on 28 occasions. Would you now please be upstanding for a moment's silence as we pay our respects to a former club legend, Olsen Filipaina. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
He left Auckland to come to the Tigers in 1980. What a legend. The Tigers, the Bears, and also the Roosters. The late Olsen Filipaina. Belinda Sharp was our referee tonight off the back of the great work done by Casey Badger in Game 1 here this evening. This is the pre-season live on Fox Sports. Daly Cherry Evans gets us underway. The kickoff will go down there to be taken by Jock Madden. And it's James Tarmo, the skipper, who will bring it forward. They'll play it just inside the 20 as Little jumps out of dummy half. Nothing doing down the short side, so Madden will get into dummy half. Here's Luciano Leilua. His brother Joey moving on to the UK Super League in the off-season after having a fight on Fox Sports just before Christmas. Here is Tyrone Peachey, good carry. The Tigers bring it back to the halfway line. Little heads to the left-hand side. Brooks, his first kick of 2022, will go down to Turbo. Tom Trbojevic in action live on Fox League in week 1 of the pre-season. What a treat this is tonight. Play it here as Manly work it away from their 20. Cherry Evans in there behind to play the ball, barking instructions. Garrick playing it for and dummy half, and it comes across to Sean Kepi. Found himself in a starting role at the back end of 2021 with Marty Tapau working off the bench. Here he is tonight though, Tapau, and taken high, and there will be a penalty to the Seagulls.
Yeah, just some footwork there from Marty Tapau as he got to the defence, which was Ito Ikamanu who just hung the arm out. You know, it was Peachey. Almost beat Peachey on the outside, and the reach with the arm got him high.
Now with first chance on the attack here, running towards the Parramatta River end of Leichhardt Oval, famous fig trees in the background. It's Vaega. They'll play it here just outside the Tigers 30. Lawton in there at dummy half tonight to begin the game for the Seagulls. Cherry Evans, cut-out ball. Goes wide and they'll dance it back towards the middle. Tuaimalo will play it there. 15 out from the Tigers line. Cherry Evans a dummy half. He hands it off to Olsen, who was a wrecking ball on that right edge. They poured their way into the semi-finals last season. Lawton, Vaega comes through the hands to Kepi. They'll just punch it forward and play it here inside the Tigers 10. 2 plays remaining in this set. Comes to 4 and a chance for Trbojevic on the outside. Brad Parker will crash his way in and Manly score. First chance they get inside the 20. It was simple hands to the left-hand side and Parker on the crash ball off the back of Turbo Tom. They lead 4 points to 0.
It was Brad Parker just steamrolling the defence there. They were stuck on their heels, didn't want to come forward, just waiting to see what Tom Trbojevic was going to do with the football. Backpedaling over the top of Norfoluma. No one could stop Brad Parker, and off the back of the first penalty of the game, it gave them some field position. Not good signs there for the Tigers. Manly scoring their first run at the line. Parker, just one of those unheralded players, outstanding last year, along with Morgan Harper, who's not in this one. Ben Trbojevic playing at right centre tonight. We're starting the game there. But a great start for the Seagulls.
As you mentioned, had a very good season in 2021, did Brad Parker. Turns 25 tomorrow. In fact, there's a bit of a birthday weekend for the Seagulls. I'll run you through all the birthday boys here in a moment, including Christian Tuaimalo, who's having his 21st birthday today. Celebrate with a try here tonight against the Tigers. Ruben Garrick off the heroic season he had as far as point scoring last year. 4 points in the regular season. First man to crack 300 barrier during the regular season as he just swings this one away to the left-hand side. But Manly lead 4 points to 0. Downstairs to you, James Hooper.
Yeah, evening Warren, evening everybody. A little bit of a light breeze here at Leichhardt Oval. No sign of rain at this stage, and a late change for the West Tigers. Jimmy the Jet Roberts was a late scratching. He picked up a little bit of a groin injury over the course of the last week, and that means that Junior Pauga is now out there in the centres for the West Tigers. Not a great start, as Brandy said.
And that was Junior Pauga that was beaten there. Couldn't make a good shot on Brad Parker. Took David Norfoluma into the in-goal area.
Deep kick-off. The Keith Barnes stand as Power will bring it back here. Manly lead 4 points to 0. I guess they picked up from where they left off. And unfortunately for the Tigers fans, so had Wes. They were the second worst defensive team in 2021. If they can find a bit of starch next time Manly get down there. And look at the way here on their own 30. They'll play it there through Vaega. Here's to Pow, tipping it on with the hands of Cherry Evans. Olsen goes across to Ben Trbojevic, who will bring it back to the halfway line. A chance in this corresponding game last year as a teenager still then, Ben Trbojevic. He's tonight playing right centre. Last play, Cherry Evans puts it in the air. Chance, an early test here for Dillon coming forward, lets it bounce. Now there's a problem. Getting back to clean it up. The Tigers will get there in time. Stafford Toa trying to bring it back. They'll round him up, and the former Knight can't get it back to the field of play.
Well, that kick looked like it was going down Dillon's throat. I don't know why he didn't get himself in position there. Maybe he thought it was bigger than it was, and all of a sudden the ball bounced and didn't favour him. Dangerous habit that, letting the ball bounce. Young player Logan Dillon starting in the number 1. With a New South Wales Cup for the Tigers year. He's come through their system.
Nervous moment there for him. Here is Marty Tapau, who looked like he had a foot over the dead ball line there, trying to get a restart. He was at the halfway line instead, though, and he'll play at 35 out. The Tigers line is Lawton from dummy half. Use that right-hand side. The second charging hard, just outside the Tigers 20. Chance for a second try in the early minutes here of this pre-season game. 4 and short ball. Bullymore off his hip. He's a promising signing. Was great at times off the bench for the Broncos over the past couple of seasons. Now, Turbo Tom going sideways. Rounded up there and a good tackle in the end made by Kelma Tualangi. Okuwatu staying alive with it. Travojevic, Ben, that is. Wrapped up only a couple of metres out. From the corner, Cherry Evans. Back here through Lawton. Very busy early on. Stopped here in a two-man tackle with Tamo and Brooks involved. It's Cherry Evans. Puts it back on the inside. Kepi hit a good bump there and knocked it on. Jacob Little putting his body on the line, getting himself right in front of the big middle forward and forcing the mistake.
Yeah, Kepi looked like he was carrying the ball a little high, and then Little was able to just get underneath it, drive up and just force it out. Just the slightest of knock-ons, just came free, but that's what the Tigers needed. They needed to try and force an error or at least defend their line after the repeat set and the early try.
Let's see what the Tigers can do to work it away on their own end. 4-0 to Manly, almost 9 minutes gone here in the first half. As Luciano Leilua, he was by far the most dangerous forward in attack for the Tigers in 2021. And he gets his side a penalty here, that'll help them. A little breeze around at the moment. Don't know that it's favouring either side in this first half. Brooks will try and find the line. Let's see what the Tigers can do for their first chance with the ball in the attacking half. They'll begin just on their own side of halfway. Vaega who taps it. Madden will tip it on. In fact, he didn't use the foot there at all, did he, Junior Vaega? They've changed a few rules in the last couple of years.
But you do get another crack at it.
You still do need to tap it with your foot.
Yes.
Rush the knee perhaps first time around. Belinda Sharp right on the job, said, hang on. Let's do that one proper. So Udikamanu playing it. Now Brooks, they go through the hands with Peachy. Left-hand side of the field to Lungi. Manly 40. Now Tama. Out there by a second. Good opening from him, the front rower. Peachy at the line again. Ball playing. Goes behind Jock Madden. End up here by Vaega, who got a bit of a taste of first grade in the middle of 2021 season for the Tigers. Norfoluma. And a great ball there for Leilua. But he almost beat Tapau. In fact, he did. Some strength there from Luciano. Uta Ikamanu goes to Peachy. He sums things up, goes to Dylan. He's got some toe. Little in and away, and they put it down. It was building nicely there for the Tigers.
Yeah, off the back of Luciano Leilua, he can do something special, Leilua. One off the ruck, bumps, gets out of the tackle of Marty Tapau and keeps the ball going. And you're right. Dylan, that's Logan Dylan, the number 1, looks very sharp on his feet. Oh, he had Ben Trebojevic in some trouble there, wrong footing him, but the ball comes free. And the Tigers will get the scrum feed. So they'll stay on the attack here.
Ruger have been knocked down there by the Sea Eagles. Forecasting using an entirely different team in the second half. We'll wait and see if it pans out that way. And how many minutes the likes of Tom Travojevic and Cherry Evans in particular play here in this first half. Peachy goes to Brooks. An overlap there. Tualangi for the line. The Tigers have responded. Nice work off the back of the scrum win. They found them short of that right-hand side, the Sea Eagles defenders. It's Kelma Tualangi who levels things up at 4 apiece.
Yeah, Tualangi 5 games off the bench last year. Big edge forward, and he'd be glad that he got across the line there because he had some numbers on the outside. The Seagulls backpedaling, gets in between Cherry Evans and Ben Trebojevic and just does enough before Olakau'atu can get there to deny him. Does a good job, Tualangi, to get the ball down. And that's the sort of hit back they needed at the Tigers. Haven't had many opportunities down here. Got a little bit of luck there with the call The drop ball from Logan Dillon was ruled to have come off a Manly player, so the scrum restart in the centre of the field, which produced plenty of tries last year. The ability now, and that changed last year, to move the scrum to wherever you want to, basically. The middle of the field was pretty popular with sides, and a lot of sides worked out how to get that extra man. They had the extra man then, but Tuolangi was strong enough to get to the line himself.
There is Kelma Tuolangi. Of the players unavailable for the Tigers here tonight, most of them are outside backs with the injuries to the likes of Adam Dewey,
Tommy Talau.
Tommy Talau. Dane Laurie not playing here. He's a fullback, quite obviously. Sean Blaw went down with an ACL, so he's unavailable for the rest of the season. It's pretty much almost a full-strength Tigers forward pack here tonight. Only Luke Garner has a chance to come into this side, quite obviously. So Tuolangi putting his hand up. There's a big chance. It was a good pre-season to force his way into the Tigers' starting pack, or certainly the 17.
Well, he's 5 games off the bench last year. You could see that there was something in him. He's a big man, 6'4", 108 kilos. Kick from Brooks.
Swing across the face of the uprights. It stays at 4 apiece. Downstairs to Jimmy Hooper.
Yeah, bumped the West Tigers coach Michael Maguire before the game, Warren, and what I found interesting was James Tarmo was the captain of this side last year. I said, you didn't name a captain yesterday. Will he lead the team again today? He said, look, for the time being, yes, but I've still got a big decision to make before the start of the season. So I got the impression it may well not be James Tarmo, the captain, rolling forward.
We'll see if it pans out that way. Only averaged just on 40 minutes a game last year, James Tarmo, and in many of the games, certainly in the back half of the season, well, he had an injury at one point and missed the end with an ankle problem. He'll start games and play 25 minutes and not reappear in several games for the Tigers. So I won't see how he's used this season by Michael Maguire, and if indeed, as James suggests, that he isn't the captain ongoing. Another penalty here. High contact on the kick return from David Norfoluma, who says, yes, whack me in the head. Linda Sharp right on the money once again, and the Tigers will get a little leg up here from their own end.
Yeah, infield run there from David Norfoluma. It was Olakwat who just slipped up over the top of the ball and collared Norfoluma high. This is what the Tigers need. Easy meters out of their own end.
I've seen much of Oliver Gildart as yet, playing out there at left centre for the Tigers, a 25-year-old Englishman, formerly of Wigan in the Super League.
Just saw the 2 big men come together there, Nuto Ikamanu and Paseka. Paseka monstered him with a tackle.
Junior Packer, nice right foot step to beat Kieran Foran. Quick play the ball. Dillon finds Leilua. Takes it forward. Stopped there by Kepi. And again, look at him just dispense with defenders. Strong stuff again. Luciano Leilua ends up on his back in the Lawton tackle. Peachy comes out the back. Here is Brooks. First man option for Tuolangi again. Well tackled though by Olakuatu, who was under pressure. Come back to the open side. Peachy for Brooks. Goes out the back. Dillon finds Powder. He'll keep it going. Norfoluma for the corner. Wrapped up by the cover. They've got one more play. Goes back to Brooks, who'll kick across the field. A chance out there for Tuolangi, flying for it. Still there. The Tiger gets a hand on it. Peachy was there. What does the referee say? They're going to go upstairs to the bunker.
On the spot kick.
I have no try. Confirming there's a knock-on from the Tigers, please.
Yeah, hard to see who got their hands to the ball, but it was an on-the-spot kick there from Luke Brooks. Norfoluma did a remarkable job to stay in field, immediately came back in. That gave them a last play. And the Tigers are onside. We get a bit closer to the action. This is better. Well,
watching it live, I wasn't convinced
Tigers have knocked the ball
on
in the contest.
I think he goes right through the middle of the hands of Daly Cherry Evans there.
You can see there that no doubt his right hand comes into contact with the ball through the middle of Daly Cherry Evans' hands, and that will be a knock on, and the Seagulls will begin at their own 20.
Well, it's a good fight back here from the Tigers. They've put a few good sets together after they gave up an early try. The bunker isn't convinced of... No, it is. Yes.
They just wanted one more check. Bit of work. It is the pre-season after all for the bunker.
A few kinks.
Just wait, I'll give you time on.
So the knock-on rule to have come in the field of play, and Manly to work it away from their own 10. Try a piece through the opening quarter hour here at Leichhardt. Here's some strong defence from the Tigers, and they forced a mistake as well.
Well, that is good stuff from the Tigers. We questioned their defence in the opening minutes, giving up that try, but they're getting... That's Sean Kepi that they're driving sideways. 4-5 Tigers involved. James Tarmo in there, and Kepi's not a small man. They monstered him there, and they'll get another shot.
See a lot of that sort of defence from the Tigers towards the back end of 2021. It gets a result here. Off the back of it, Madden comes out to Gilder. Here he is, just outside the Manly 10. Toa, feed it through Brooks, and now Tarmo. Tapau did well, closed the door there that opened in the middle of the Manly defensive line. Keep going to the right-hand side. Peachy, the distributor. Now Dillon, speed, worried Manly. Norfolk-Loomis dancing, will get a result. David Norfolk-Loomis scores for West, and the home side has the lead. Nice stuff on this right-hand side by the Tigers.
Yeah, I haven't said that about the Tigers for quite some time, that their defence has set this one up. The big tackle on Sean Kepi has seen the Tigers get the ball back. Great footwork there from David Norfolk-Loomis. Beats two back on the inside and is able to straighten up. It's not easy to do. Once you start coming back infield, it's very hard to straighten up. The cover defence coming across, and he's able to just slip inside Ethan Bullymore. And the Tigers, after a disappointing start to the game, opened up, scored against in the first set that Manly had a shot at their line, have now hit back with two tries. Dominated possession and are doing something with it.
The speed of Lee Dillon there, or rather Logan Dillon. We're going to check this, are we? So a concern here.
Just reviewing an obstruction in that play.
For an obstruction in the lead-up. Seemed to be pretty clear-cut watching it. We'll wait and see what the decoy on this right-hand side did, as Dillon was able to cut to the outside. It was Junior Pauga running a line and doesn't get to the inside shoulder here of Kieran Foran.
Well, he runs into Kieran Foran, pushes him backwards.
23 Tigers has run into the chest of Kieran Foran, which has affected his ability to participate in the play beyond that point.
If he scores in the corner, I don't think Kieran Foran has a say in what happens, but the fact that he stepped back on the inside meant that Foran comes into play.
When the Tigers come back into the play, he could have defended in this point. We have a decision.
Foran chasing hard to get to a position where he probably would have been ordinarily without the contact. So a clear-cut no try.
Yeah, disappointing. Disappointing. Didn't see that live. But the few touches that Logan Dillon has had, he looks very sharp. I did hear that about him. Great runner of the footy.
Some such little senior football to speak of. Just the one game New South Wales Cup last year. He was sharp, there's no question about that, and his speed has worried the outside backs on the Manly defensive side. Seagulls hang on. Stays at 4 points all. And Paseka will play just inside the 40. Here is Kep. Solid tackle to Alungi up there with Tarmo. Now Foran. Here for Tom Trbojevic. Parker 2-on-2. Good defence by Pauga here. Wraps up Parker. Got the better of him to score that opening try in just the 3rd minute of the game. Foran comes back to Bullymore. Step off the right foot, but handled by the Tigers' right edge. Last tackle here. Foran into a big hole. The pass was forward. Oh, they had them flat-footed and not numbered up. And Foran had a play there potentially. The pass from dummy half was forward.
There was only 2 defenders down this side. There's David Norfolk-Loomis, but the Manly support were a bit slow to react too. In the end, Kieran Foran was on his own. but the pass was forward. So a couple of things they didn't get right there, Manly, and there was a half an opportunity. Good shot there on Norfoluma.
Well, it is suddenly pouring here at Leichhardt Oval. There are storms predicted. We've got a storm, but we've certainly got a pretty solid rain shower here midway through this opening half. Tigers and Seagulls. Well, it might be a bit refreshing. What is it, a warm summer's night for a pre-season game? Peachy, there's the effect of the rain straight away. Trying to play it too quickly, loses the handle and gives it back to Man.
Yeah, the focus on the play the ball now that the rain is coming down needs to improve, and Peachy just trying to get a quick one. Saw the ball fumble out of his hand, just slipped out. There was some scattering of the crowd. I wondered what was going on. I couldn't see the rain.
Well, it appeared very quickly here, and I don't know that too many brought umbrellas here tonight. Boy, they need them now. It's coming in sideways from the southeast. Manly with the scrum, and it's Trbojevic, Ben. Point out, Jake watching on from the grandstand tonight. Tom and Ben in action. Seagulls work it up towards the Tigers 30. Lawton. Numerous roles off the bench, for the most part. Des Hasler in 2021. Comes back to the open side here, charging hard again. Good carry by Paseka. Quick play the ball as well. That's sharp work. Forward now. Players in motion. Tom Trbojevic. The catch and pass on the sweep. He just couldn't execute it.
Yeah, did create some space down that left touch line. Ruben Garrick. It was Kieran Foran doing a great job to drag a few in. Brad Parker. Tip on by Tom Trbojevic. Just slipped out of his hands.
We're very confident about where Tom Trbojevic is, obviously, and he's built up to this new season. Playing here tonight in game one, as we said, rested last year in the pre-season for the corresponding game in which the Tigers were resounding victors over the Seagulls. We'll wait and see. Here we are, midway through the opening half. Looks like Tom and Cherry Evans. Kieran Foran will continue on. This is the opening try. We only had to wait 3 minutes. Just the strength there of Brad Parker to go over the top with both Pauga and Norfoluma. That was sharp work.
Yeah, he runs a great line, Brad Parker. Strong player. Tom Trbojevic just holding the ball up fractionally. Had the defence wondering whether he was going to run or pass. And just that moment of hesitation on your own line. If someone's running as hard as what Brad Parker does, it's very hard to stop him. Over the top of Norfoluma. Pauga in there as well. Couldn't stop him. But then the Tigers hit back with two of their own. This one, terrific stuff there from Junior Pauga, and he's come into the centres after James Roberts was ruled out of the game late. Just took on Cherry Evans and Ben Trbojevic, and he looks a find. He'll play plenty of first grade for the Tigers this year.
The part of the build-up to that try you don't see, of course, is the defence that forced the mistake from the Seagulls to gain possession with a monstered Sean Kepi and the mistake, and then off the back of the two tackles later. Is it hailing? They've gone for the chairs as cover down there on the Manly bench. I don't know the rain is that hard here at Leichhardt.
I don't know what's going on. Was?
I've seen some good hats in recent times, but that might be the best. Uta Ikamanu stopped here, loses the ball. This will be another mistake. In fact, it'll be a strip against the Seagulls.
A couple of times the Seagulls have let the Tigers out of their own end cheaply with penalties.
It's raining pretty hard, James Hooper. Is it worthy of a chair over the head down there, though?
Can confirm, Warren, no hail at this stage, but it is coming in sideways and the breeze is blowing every which way but loose.
Every which way. What a great movie that was. Okay, Clint Eastwood.
Clyde,
the orangutan.
left turn.
If you've never seen it, check it out. Be on Netflix or something, wouldn't it?
Bit old, Ross.
Here's Tamo. Right up James Hooper's alley, that's for sure. Now Little comes to Madden, who'll kick towards the corner, turns Garrick around. Norfoluma has him under pressure. It's a terrific kick, Garrick. Don't know if he threw it over the dead ball line or Norfoluma helped it out, but either way, the Tigers were forced a goal line dropout. That was a clever kick.
It was smart play, Jock Madden. Tom Trbojevic up close to the defensive line. Garrick turned and covered the ball and always had it. Norfoluma arrived pretty quickly just to force it dead. So they'll get it back, and they've done this a couple of times now. Really, after the opening 5 minutes, I think the Tigers, with their 2 tries, are certainly on top.
The man who gets the results takes the catch off the drop out, and it's Tamo to bring it back. They'll begin here just inside the Manly 40. Little from dummy half. Goes to Brooks, who was fairly flat. Tuaimalo standing wide, having re-signed with the Tigers until the end of the 2025 season, but he got a chance to get a 6 again set for the Tigers off the back of the penalty at the other end. This one, though, will go against him. It's very late in the piece there that Olakau'atu had a play at that. That could have easily been a penalty against the Seagulls.
There's no doubt that Olakau'atu, he's on his back. Tuaimalo, it's almost dead there, and he should have been either a penalty or play the ball.
Well, the challenge is in effect. Does he listen to you, though? He knows he's a front rower and says, well, I'm not going to challenge because I'm a front rower.
I don't think so.
He's listened to too many games where you've been commentating. Doesn't want to incur the wrath of G. Alexander. And it's Bullymore to play it, almost back at the halfway line to Powell. No changes as yet for the Sea Eagles. The Tigers mustering the troops. Fresh replacements about to hit the field. Tom Trbojevic taking on the middle third defence. Gets a legs tackle, quick play the ball. Now Kepi following suit. Stopped there by Tamo. Head to the right, Cherry Evans will kick out towards the wing of Tuaimalo. It's an awkward one, the wind really affecting that kick. Well, it wasn't a high one, you could see the effect of the breeze there, and in the end, as the Tigers will clean things up through Stafford Tower. Now Gilda. 3 test matches for England, a game for Great Britain as well, for picking up with the Tigers, the beginning of the pre-season. Dillon playing it, Little, and a dummy half. Bouncing here was Junior Pauga out of a couple of contacts. As when the Seagull left on the ground as well as Sean Kepi. His hands and knees back behind the play and is still there. And Junior Pauga also looks as though he may have an issue.
Oh, that was again a big collision, that. I'm surprised if Kepi leaves the field.
Brooks drives it low. Trbojevic. Turbo Tom taking no chances. These breezy conditions suddenly brings it back. Now wrapping up midfield just outside the 20. So as a result of Kepi coming from the field, potentially for an HIA, given the nature of that collision we saw, they make their first change of the night in their middle third rotation. Morgan Boyle is out there now in jumper 16.
The Tigers made a change too. Joe Offa-Ngaui's on the field. That's a kick that from Cherry Evans.
And from inside the 40 as well. The big right boot of DCE comes up with Manly's first 40-20 of 2022.
Is it the best we've seen? Still playing?
He's the best 40-20 man in the NRL at the moment. There's no doubt about that.
The time that we've spent watching and commentating Cherry Evans, he's come up with some amazing 40-20s. They'll get the ball back to Seagulls.
Here's a chance on the left-hand side. Bullymore gets his hands free. He shifts it on to Garrick. The Tigers were short defensively because Pauga was on the ground back behind the play. And Manly sensed the chance to go to that side. And Garrick has his first 4-pointer for the new season.
Well, it just opened up, and you're right. Pauga's still on the ground, so that left the right centre out of position. There's the 40-20 from Cherry Evans. An absolute beauty. Inside the 10. Off the tap, they push it back down the left side. Tom Trbojevic gets the pass. Bullymore, I thought it was going to break down there, but Bullymore was able to get his arms free and get the pass out to Ruben Garrick. No setter. There's Pauga back on the ground, 20 metres back upfield. So they take advantage of the extra number and grab a try to square things up.
The back of the 40-20 by Daly Cherry Evans, one of the birthday boys this weekend for the Seagulls. He turns 33 on Sunday. And off the back of the 23 tries he scored last season and the 334 points overall, only 8 short of Hazem El Masri's all-time single season record, including playoffs. Here he is, having missed his first attempt off the back of the try by Brad Parker earlier on. Tough one now, Breeze though, looking from the right-hand side. We'll see if he can bend it back. He starts it on a good line, but boy, look at the wind. It is blowing hard here at Leichhardt suddenly. That one hooking away savagely, and Manly maintain this 8-4 lead with just on 13 minutes before half-time. That, of course, tonight we're trying to support Tonga and everything that happened over there off the back of the volcano and the tsunami, the devastation to families, their belongings, homes, roads, farms, all popping an absolute battering off the back of the drama over there. And they are a big part, of course, of the Rugby League family. You can go to nrl.com/Tonga to do what you can to help out so many people in need at a very important time. Thoughts with everybody out there, Pacific Island nation. 12 for 4 Sipley. Out there also now, a change for the Seagulls once again. Their middle forward rotation. Sean Kepi, though, remains on the field. As Lawton goes to the right-hand side. Here is Morgan Boyle, playing just the 2 games in 2021. Shoulder injury that required a reconstruction. Here is Cherry Evans again, once more from inside the 40. Oh, this one a bit of off-break, Nathan Lyon style, and go down to Norfoluma. He'll be wrapped up in the corner. So on no 40-20, it's a terrific performance by Cherry Evans again here to have the Tigers being pounded on their own line.
Look how quickly a couple of kicks can change the nature of the game. Manly struggling. I thought the Tigers, they were on top on the scoreboard, but also on top in terms of field position and the way they were playing. Cherry Evans changes the nature of the game in 2 kicks.
Thomas McKaylee on deck for the Tigers, playing it just outside the 20. Twal is also out there. Another penalty here for the Tigers. A few of those here in this first half from their own end. Just 11 remaining in this first half. The pre-season coming to you live here on Fox Sports. The Tigers coming into the breeze now. It's a significant one as well, as it really kicked up around about 5 to 10 minutes ago. And Gildart will tap it. The Tigers to work it through the midfield. Offa Hengau. Started at the beginning of the season. In fact, played Origin 1 for Queensland in 2021, before losing his place in that team for the second and third games. Here through Alex Twal now. Little comes to McKaylee. Runs towards Kepi. Good offload there. Some strong stuff over the top. And the Seagulls defensively, it was Olakawatu who was in there once again. Rattled Jacob Little. Brooks out the back. Goes to Madden, who had Gildart in support, just couldn't get it away in time. Gildart out of dummy half. Chopped down there, 15 out from the Manly line. Last play here for West. Comes back to Brooks. We'll chip it across the field, a chance out wide. Powder is there. Parker, though, up above everybody to reel it in.
Well, off the back of the penalty, Manly give up plenty of field position. Brad Parker would have been a little worried, that one going over the top of his hands there. Outstretched. Pulls it in, though. A couple of Tigers just hanging around for anything that went to ground.
Now Tom Travojevic down the short side. Parker going with him. Hard ball there for Garrick to take a point-blank range. Garrick was going to get smashed into touch anyway. They had the numbers there, the Tigers. That was a pass that Brad Parker would like to reel back in. A chance for a do-over. Now Dillon. That right foot.
Just see Tom Trebojevic just lurking down short sides, just waiting to make the Tigers pay if they're short of numbers, but they handled that one well, and Parker should have hung on to it. I think Parker goes over the sideline anyway. They're very close to it, and in these slippery conditions, they want to stay at least 5 metres infield.
The switch here for the Tigers. Brooks shading the right-hand side of the field. Madden now sweeping from left to right. Just mixing things up as far as their halves alignment is concerned. Little. Now Brooks back on his favoured left-hand side. Tigers take it forward through Offahingawi. Just outside the Manly 10. Little finds Madden. Out the back is Dillon. Plenty of white and maroon jumpers in front of him though, and that's a rather meagre end to a set of 6. It promised a little bit for the Tigers as they work their way inside the 20.
There's still 8 minutes left. The Tigers could have easily tried to drop that one into the in-goal area. They decided to run the ball when there really wasn't anything on. Defensively, Manly were solid down that side.
These two teams next week in week 2 of the pre-season will take on the teams that played before them in both the Raiders and the Roosters. Tigers will meet the Roosters at Gosford next Friday night. And Manly will take on the Raiders again in a doubleheader between the 4 teams. Dancing to Pilotu. His 21st birthday, no less. We'll play it here just outside the Manly 40. Comes across all. An air swing there for the Seagulls. Cherry Evans goes wide. Here's Parker with some room to move, but he cut back on the inside. And Madden made a nice tackle. Short side again. Cherry Evans from the halfway line. Norfoluma clean bowled. Didn't want to play it at any rate as it finds the touchline. And the Tigers will have it here from just outside their own 20. He's conducted them very nicely, as you would expect. DCE first up here this evening.
Well, he has, and the kicking game has saved Manly a couple of times. Their discipline's probably let them down. They've allowed the Tigers cheap meters out of their own end through penalties, so they'll want to try and clean that up in the second half. Cherry Evans, a good kicking game can be all you need sometime with some strong defence.
A fan of both these teams. You're pretty happy with what you've seen so far. The Tigers give up the early try. They've considered another one. Just the 8 points to 4. Seagulls have taken their chances a couple of times inside the 20. They've been fairly clinical by scoring opportunities. As Little goes flat. Here is Alex Tuaimalo. Standing a long time here before eventually they take him to ground. 45 away from the Seagulls line. Little goes one way. Cuts back to Brooks. Good tackle. Coming out of the line again. Molly Olakawatu heavily involved in this first half. Now Madden goes to the air to Pilotu under pressure. Will make the catch. There's Gildart and also Toa coming down on top of him. Just a mix up there in the timing of the pass is Ben Travojevic. Takes the carry, the heavy one from the corner of the field for Man. To Pilotu. One game last season for the Seagulls. Made his debut for the Roosters the season before back in 2020. Louis is out there. He'll play it as it comes to Tom Travojevic. Goes across the halfway line. Just 5 minutes remaining. In this first half, Cherry Evans puts it in the air, going backwards. Awkward one here to handle. Toa in the end does very well. It's swirling around out there for the back 3 of the Tigers, especially looking up into the rain, which has eased off to some degree here after coming down pretty heavily midway through this opening half as Dillon works it away. At the moment himself under a high ball earlier in the game. Now strong tackle. Underneath David Norfoluma is Carl Lawton. That's good stuff under the ribcage of the veteran Tigers winger. Gildart to play it. Little. Full pass there. Twall just okay. The pass backwards out of the hands of the dummy half. One more here for the Tigers. Brooks. Rubber it towards the sideline. Coming across. Tom Travojevic says we'll take the restart here from our own end. We've settled into a bit of an arm wrestle between the 20 at either end of the field.
Yeah, we have. Just getting to their kicks on the last. Both Cherry Evans and Luke Brooks punching a couple of their kicks across the sideline. Just under 4 minutes in the first half.
Well, it's a fairly conservative end of the set for the Tigers. At least they're just getting to their kicks, controlling where they turn the ball over against the Circles. At times last year, across the board, just amongst the key playmakers, the Tigers lacked a bit of footy IQ. It really cost them some victories second half of the season when the competition moved full time to Queensland. They lost their heads at various times, and some direction, some stewardship is what they're hoping for from Jackson Hastings when he especially returns in a 5/8 role. You'd imagine for round one, missing tonight with a lower leg problem, but 2 untoward, the word is. Now look, Tom Trbojevic. Ended up here by Luciano Leilua. Mr. Cayley there also involved. Cherry Evans. A bit of pressure, gets a big kick away off a standing start. Or does it bounce in the field of play? No, it just got into the touch in goal line beyond the corner post, so it will be a 20-minute restart here for the Tigers. Down to you, James Hooper.
Just on Jackson Hastings, Warren, as you touched on, he is one of the Tigers' star recruits and a new playmaker for this season. He actually had a boil on his foot. He had to go and have it drained. He said that he started losing a little bit of feeling in the foot, but he wanted to play this evening. Coach Michael Maguire opted to be a little bit conservative, but he'll be pushing to play in next weekend's trial.
We just don't know how key he will be with Adam Dewey not due back until mid-season. Could be the Hastings-Brooks halves combination might carry the Tigers through the first half of the year.
That's award Luke Brooks, staying alive with it. Nice work by Alex Twile, just outside the Manly 20. Good work by Little also to stay alive. Now Madden puts a kick in. It sits up though for Ruben Garrick. Chance to roll that into the in-goal area or towards it and get another repeat set with the kick picked out the winger, and Manly should be able to work it away from trouble. Avoid incident here, and I'm sure the Tigers don't get another chance before the break.
Well, Garrick read things and started to push in field. The option for Madden there, if he was quick enough to do it, was the one over the top. Norfoluma unmarked.
Cherry Evans slowly to his feet here. Don't know that he'll be back in the second half. Likewise, Tom Trbojevic or Kieran Thorne. I'm going to say that the first 40 minutes will be all over Red Rover for those three men in particular. Here is a chance for Tom Trbojevic right before half-time. Skates through the middle, speeding onto it. He finds Ben Trbojevic. Tuaimalo on his 21st birthday. There's some icing on the cake. The Christian Tuaimalo blow out the candles, young man. He scores on a big day here at Leichhardt.
Well, you just can't relax against Trbojevic, and Cherry Evans and the number one combine beautifully down the middle of the field. He steps out of a tackle, heads towards the right touch line, picks up his brother Ben, who offloads it to Tuaimalo, and a very good play between the halfback and fullback there. They've done a pretty good job on him tonight so far, the Tigers, but just relaxed for that one moment. And Cherry Evans reads it. Trbojevic pushing up through the centre. A couple of nice passes just to finish things off, and a nice piece of play between the brothers. Trbojevic out on that right-hand side.
Well, they've been good with his work to that point, but a reminder just how dynamic he is after all those tries and, of course, try assists. The games he played in 2021. This weekend, we said, Christian Tuaimalo celebrating his 21st birthday. Jake also bringing up a birthday over the course of the weekend. And we're about to see one of the more exciting youngsters who's never played a game in the NRL, given the hype and the build-up to this pre-season game here tonight. Tolutau Kula, formerly of Newington College. He's been in the Manly system for a number of seasons now, and during his time at Newington in the athletics department, ran 10.58 seconds for a new GPS record for the 100. That is fast in anybody's language.
That's great, isn't it? Don't you love speed like that? It's a rare thing. We've got some quick players in the competition. Josh Adokar, Jason Saab, of course, who's not out there tonight. Very quick, but I wonder if they're as quick as that. Tolu Kula.
Wondering how the Tigers were going to line up for this second 40. Josh Madden is going to stay out there. Probably steer the ship around for the Tigers by the looks of things. Luke Brooks hasn't returned, so I dare say the halfback will cool his heels until next weekend. And they take on the Roosters on Friday night up there in Gosford. That one also live here on Fox Sports. Jock Madden gets us underway. The kickoff to go down to the Sea Eagles. There's Morgan Boyle, who was one of those Manly forwards who remained on the field here to begin this second half. From dummy half, comes through the hands of Jamie Humphries, who has Tigers blood coursing through his veins. Son of Stephen Humphries, who played for the Tigers back in the early 80s. Of course, the grandson of Kevin Humphries, who was secretary of the Tigers at one stage, also the chairman of New South Wales or Rugby League back in the late 70s and early 80s. A Tiger himself. Well, here he is, dummy half for the Sea Eagles tonight in this second half. The kick, a clearing one, comes from Aidan Ackland. Coming forward here, a chance for the Sea Eagles to put some real pressure on Israel Ogden, it was, who was back there in the fullback position. The Tigers will go to work from inside their own half. They had the breeze at their backs, and I think we saw the effects of the breeze there. That clearing kick from the Sea Eagles.
Still some first graders out there, and NRL players in terms of forwards. There's Thomas McKaylee, Alex Twall is out there.
Offa Hingawi on the previous carry as well. Some experience remaining in the middle of the field for West. McKaylee to play it here from dummy half. They'll fit it across. A kick in behind them. And Taipari, not a bad one, coming across using some of that speed. Tolu Kula gets there, but they'll wrap him up before he can really wind up, and he'll play it barely a metre into the field of play for the Sea Eagles.
Yeah, nice kick there, Joseph Taipari, who's come on to play halfback in the second stanza for the Tigers. West New South Wales Cup halfback last year.
Humphries gets to dummy half. Work it away. Tuaimalo, the try scorer just before the break, takes a carry and brings it back to almost the 30. His right-hand side through DeLewis, also celebrating a birthday here tonight. A chance on this right edge. Ray Vaega ducking under a tackle, and we'll play it at the halfway line from Ben Trebojevic. Back it goes to Ackland once again. Does the clearing kicking. Comes down there. The Tigers, and Ogden will play it just outside the 20. Just the one try in the opening half. Trail by 8, 3 minutes into this second half. Working to the right edge through the hands there of Offa Hingawi. Taking it forward, Tuki Simpkins is also out there. Stafatoa remaining on the field, also in danger of being pushed into touch here. Call of hell came just in time. From the sideline, they work it back away from the danger. There is McKaylee, who will play it. In fact, it's Zane Musgrove getting a chance now in midfield. Through the hands of Offa Hingawi from Madden on this left edge. Pauga gives it off. A chance for the Tigers. Junior Tupoto taken into touch.
Oh, nice play down this left touchline by the Tigers, but they've carried the ball across the sideline. Junior Tupou, new to the Tigers. Former junior Wallaby, just can't get around the outside man. That's Ray Vaega.
There's a nice spread of the ball to the left-hand side for no result for the Tigers. A reminder, Fox Theatre coming up, the 2021 Grand Final. For the Penrith Panthers to complete the most thrilling final series we've ever seen. Penrith broke an 18-year premiership drought, and we'll relive that grand final night with the Panthers Saturday night right after the footy here on Fox League. Tigers jump the gun here. They're inside the 10. That is a change for 2022 with offside penalties. Instead of being a 6-tackle restart, will be a penalty to stop teams jumping up and giving away obvious restarts on plays 1 and play 2. I'm sure you catch that tomorrow night. Got the popcorn ready for that one, Brandy?
I've had a quick look. It's very good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's very good.
I have no doubt, given what we saw, of course, last year with Tales from Tiger Town.
Sneak preview, okay? So,
well, you should do. If anyone's getting a sneak preview, I thought the Panthers great. We'll have had a little look. That will be fascinating to watch. The Panthers looking back at their premiership success. Boy, they did it the tough way as well. They go via the cape, didn't they? Here's an offload. Humphries ends up with it for the Seagulls, and they're just outside the Tigers' 30. Quickly jumping into dummy half. Here is Cooler. And he used that speed. He can't get going once again, though. He's wrapped up there by Taipari. Down the short side. Chance for Weeks to put a play on, but they'll do well. The Tigers cleaning up there was Ogden. And they'll work it away from their own end. No changes yet.
very involved through that set there, K.O. Weeks, and he was an outstanding junior player. Harold Matthews, NSG ball level, prolific try scorer, great footwork, great ball runner. We saw him put his hands on the ball 3 or 4 times through that set.
He's been with the Seagulls since he was 14 years of age. He's come through the ranks, as you said. Now Madden on this left-hand side. Comes all the way to Seyfarth, who does well, stays alive with it. How good there, wrapped up 5 metres into Manly territory. Madden puts a kick in. I dare say Seyfarth might have jumped the gun and was called out of the action. He drops out of the play and lets Cooler come back more than 10 metres to him, and he makes the tackle, and as it turns out, gives away a penalty. Takes a little bit too high, quick shower, and Tommy T is back out there watching on for the second half. That was shown out of the playbook from 2021, the try he put on just before the break, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic stuff. It just highlighted that Tom Trbojevic is dangerous at any time, and it was some lazy marker work in that first half that saw Cherry Evans and Trbojevic combined to get the Seagulls their 3rd try. Seyfarth with the high shot on Cooler. Gives Manly some cheap meters.
Couple of try assists. No surprise there. Tom Trbojevic, if you missed the opening 40 minutes, key play and leading up to the first try scored by Brad Parker, and then did some dancing right through the middle of the Tigers' defensive line just before the break. Humphries out at dummy half. They'll go to Weeks, who taps it on. Cooler, though, reaching out. The pass was out in front of him. I thought he was hitting it at speed there, Weeks. Instead, Tigers get it back 10 on their own side of halfway with these new combinations. A number of players on both sides here in the second half on train and trial contracts. I think we'll see a bit of ball put down. The rain has eased up, coming down very hard about 20 minutes into that first half. It's on away for the moment, which is good for both the players and the fans here. Leichhardt.
Good shot. Good shot, that one. James Romanos.
Now Madden to this left-hand side. Ogden trying to stay alive. And the brother of Hiki Ogden looking up with the Tigers. From Basin from the Warriors for the 2022 season. Last play here, in fact it wasn't the last play, 2 more in this set. Twal off the right foot. Comes towards tackle there of Kurt Lewis, who stops him just outside the 20. Now it's the last. Here's Madden chipping. Chance out wide for Seyfarth. Was that Pauga who came down with it? Madden on the wrap for the second kick in. The Seagulls have done well to come up with possession, and it was Aidan Ackman getting across there who dived on the ball to keep it in the field of play. The Tigers, though, will get a set of 6. Some strong defence here on the very next play. The kick again, Madden wrapping around the back. Ball went in the air. Tupou it was who came down with it.
Second kick was a lot better than the first one. Madden just dribbling it towards the try line there after the first one just went up and down in the same spot, but they were able to get the ball back. And a couple of times they came up with big defence in the first half to earn themselves a repeat set. They've done that now. Trail 12-4. We'll see what they can put together in a set of 6 here. But you're right, the trial games, or the pre-season games, see some new combinations, the timing of the passing, the holes. It's a work in progress here for both sides.
The Tigers will bring it back. Tuki Simpkins there, a good offload. Comes back to Starford Tully. Just outside the Sea Eagles 20. Through the hands to the middle. Musgrove charges hard onto it. Some running repairs. The drop out was taking place for Kurt DeLewis, but he's okay. Involved in the tackle there at the line for Hengawi. Now he gets a pass away. It'll come back for the Tigers, where Natakara stays alive with it. Gives it away, goes back to Taipari. He dances, but is wrapped up by Humphries. Only 5 out from the Seagulls line. They'll go from dummy half. Did they get there? I think they did. It was Natakara who dives in. The Tigers have their second try of the night.
Natakara, a very handy little hooker. He was the Jersey Flegg Player of the Year last year for the Tigers. He's tough. He can play in the middle or a dummy half. He's one of those hookers that can just float around the middle of the field. This time takes them on after the repeat set. Very nuggety. Gets the ball down in the crook of his elbow there. So good hit back, Tigers. Aimed up defensively, got a repeat set and are able to score off the back of it.
A word from the West Camp, if you're looking for a player to compare him to, not that they're saying that he's the next Brandon Smith, but they said he's a bit like Brandon Smith. Saw a little bit that there with the way he dived into the in-goal area from close range. He can play hooker, he can play lock forward. We haven't quite been given the all clear.
Reviewing the grounding.
We're just going to check that he got this down here.
Okay, I thought he did keep it just in the crook of his arm as he hit the ground.
Tigers player has lost the ball in the grounding
say
attempt. We have a decision.
Well, I guess more than one look, because no doubt the bunker has been looking at that before we had the stoppage there from Belinda Sharp. So
that was Jamie Humphries, who's playing dummy half opposite. And that's a couple they've had pulled back. Natakara denied. Jamie Humphries, you've got to praise the effort from the opposite dummy half. Did enough just to dislodge the ball.
And he goes close for no result. Tapu Natakara. Tuaimalo as the Tigers again jump the gun. They're inside the 10 for the second time in this second half at this end of the field. They give Manly a chance. We're running into this breeze. Still fairly significant here at Leichhardt. Weeks kick for the line. I don't think they've got too much field position there, and they'll play it. They'll tap it at least on their own side of halfway. Out there for the Seagulls, Josh Aloia, the former Tiger himself, who at one stage was told, you'll mow the grass. Instead, he ended up looking out for the Seagulls before the beginning of the 2021 season. Humphries. On this left-hand side, Weeks again showing it. Tuaimalo playing at the left centre in this second half as Humphries waits. 30 away from the Tigers line. Aloye.
Oh, good tackle.
Cut down James Romanis there. It was a good tackle by Seyfarth. Now DeLewis. Ackland keeps it going. Chance for Kula to do some diving and jigging his way inside the Tigers 10. We've got one more play here out near the sideline from Ben Travojevic. Goes back. Seagulls put it in the air. Chance, a juggle, and a lost ball in the end. It's West who will come away with it inside their own 10.
Yeah, tricky conditions to be kicking the ball there. Ackland's kick just landing short of the try line. Really giving his chasers a chance.
There through Tukey Simpkins, right edge in this second half. So far, just outside the West 30. Through the hands, and now Madden kicks it into the back of one of the Manly chasers. A touch there from the Tigers. Play on for the moment. Ben Travojevic will leave it to Tolu Kula. We want to see him in open space. Here he is, straight past Seyfarth into the meat of the Tigers' defensive line now. But you'd love to see him get a chance to go 90 or 100, wouldn't you? Just see how quick he is.
From the time he picked the ball up to where he is now, he got there pretty quickly. Beat about 3 defenders. Some open space would be nice.
Good to see you've got the stopwatch on the desk here, just a chance to clock it just in case he does get into open space. Oh, played the ball here. There was nobody at dummy half, and eventually it was Tuaimalo who won the race to it with one of the Tigers and Stafford Toa about to jump onto it. DeLewis will work it forward. Still no change to our half-time scoreline. 14 gone in this second half. Humphries looking to the right. Weeks at first receiver. Ackland now out the back. Kula steps back through a hole. There might have been some interference though on the Tigers' defence, and yes, Belinda Sharp, maybe some word from the sideline official there, but there was no doubt a Tigers defender was interfered with, and Kula came back through the hole.
We'll just see it here. There's the decoy runner just going in. Just knocks over the Tigers defender there, and that creates the space for Tolu Kula.
The Tigers find the sideline. We'll get downstairs to James Hooper.
Yeah, you touched on the young gun Tolu Kula, Warren. It's no wonder considering his heritage. His dad, Tolu Sr., represented Tonga at 3 Olympic Games, and his mum, Anna, she also represented Tonga at 2 Olympics. She was a long jumper and also a crack 110-metre hurdle sprinter.
And the bloodlines are strong. We've seen a glimpse of that already, albeit a 30-metre jagging run back towards the middle of the field. Tigers just outside the 20. Here is Madden at the line. Seyfarth, a little block play. Well, red though on this right edge. Strong tackle made there. It was Ackland underneath with most of the defence. Madden, stumbling run before he hands it off to Offahen-Gowie. Off in the middle of the field there. Nice tackle made by James Romanis for the Seagulls. Madden's there again, cutting back here. Strong run by the Tigers. Takari back on the angle. Went close, but he's only a couple of metres out, and they hand it over back to Mann.
Yeah, Tuaimalo in a long way off his wing there to try and shut things down. There's Takari almost getting himself to the try line.
Humphries, a moment for him. Famous old Leichhardt Oval, no less, where he makes his debut. He played for the London Broncos under-19 side when his father had moved on as the CEO from the West Tigers, working, obviously living with the family, an expanded family. A lot of siblings in the Humphries household for Jamie. And before they came back to link up with the Seagulls and the Northern Beaches, playing for the Broncos in their junior system. Seagulls work it back towards the halfway line now. Play it there through Tuatavaki. Put in the air through Ackland once again. This one might hit the deck. In fact, coming through, a terrific catch. The Seagulls are away and they'll score. Ray Vaega, what a catch. And he sprints away to grab Manly's 4th try of the night.
Well, that's the best individual effort we've seen tonight. That's including what we saw at the Raiders and the Roosters. This is a spectacular try. The kick fell short. The fullback couldn't get there. Ray Vaega never took his eye off the football. Got in the air, landed. Great balance there to keep running and get himself to the try line. That's spectacular. Certainly livened up the second half.
Well, they said he's a noted defender, can really whack when he hasn't got the ball, but boy, he can catch and run given what we saw just then. The 21-year-old winger came from New Zealand at the beginning of the 2021 season and played Jersey flag last year. Scored 6 tries in 11 games last year. Boy, he might score plenty more given what we just saw. That was terrific.
4 tries now to the Sea Eagles, first of the second half.
And it will be a hooker, Jamie Humphries, to do the kicking here. He's a 5'8", they're playing the halves, playing hooker at the moment. Of course, Manly still have their issues. And Asi Inu stood down under the NRL stand-down policy. So Carl Lawton, Lachlan Croker, the first choice hookers. Humphries in the backup role, showing what he can do here tonight. First conversion of the night goes to Manly. They lead this one 18 points to 4.
It's worth seeing again, isn't it, this one? Front on, Ray Vaega, eyes for the footy. The fact that the breeze certainly helped to pull it back towards the Manly chase made it very difficult for the fullback.
He's pretty happy, as you would be. First crack at the big time. And he makes a nice catch, and it looks like that will be a little bit early for our quarter time, 3/4 time, whichever way you want to phrase it here tonight. But there'll be a drinks break all the same for both teams midway through this second half. The first try of the second half comes in spectacular fashion for the Sea Eagles. Ackland's kick, a high ball coming through, making a terrific catch. It was Ray Vaega who scores the first try of this second stanza. Wicket end stairs to James Hooper.
Thanks, Warren. I've got the Manly skipper, Daly Cherry Evans, alongside us. Daly, how was the opening hit out of the season?
It was good to get it done, to be honest, mate. Yeah, this pre-season's gone pretty quickly, to be fair. We all got a pretty good break last year, but it's nice to be back into it, and I thought it was pretty rusty, to be fair, but it's nice to have it done.
Tell you what, you had some nice touches with your kicking game, a 40-20, and those conditions, the wind was blowing every which way.
Yeah, no, we were really lucky, knowing we were coming into the game, that we were going to only play the first half, so luckily we got the win. So it worked out really well for us, and yeah, we took advantage of it. We got a repeat set, we got a 40-20, so yeah, it was nice.
What about that try then from Ray Vaega? Beautiful touch.
Mate, outstanding. I mean, this half is full of, on our behalf, sort of a lot of train and trialists and a lot of people that have played a lot of reserve grade, but it's great to see them here tonight, showing that they can put it forward for NRL this season, and you know, it's been pretty well documented. COVID could, you know, interrupt at any moment, so we are going to have to make sure that our squads are prepared, and Ray's worked really hard in the pre-season, so it's great to see him get some reward.
The other bloke who looks an excitement machine, Daly, is Tolu Kula. He's had a couple of touches, looks electric on his feet.
Yeah, he does, mate. He's electric on his feet. That's exactly it. So he's only so young and he's got so much to learn, but the best part about Tolu is he's willing to learn. He's got all the great natural attributes that you need with the footwork and the speed, and he's pretty fearless, but most of all, he wants to learn.
Daly, as always, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Cheers. Have a good one.
Great to have Daly Cherry Evans on the sideline with James Hooper as we resume play here in this second half. The two very different looking Sea Eagles and Tiger sides here. Big run by Josh Aloiai. A big bump there on Joseph Taipari and left him on the seat of his pants. A shift here for the Sea Eagles from inside their own half. Romanis driven backwards in the tackle. DCE made a good point there about the depth of the squads for the teams here in 2022 and the spectre of the pandemic still in the NRL, and we saw early on tonight Sam Williams going down 15 minutes before boarding the bus. The kick here bounces up for the Sea Eagles. Taufa Four simply ends up with it. That will be the changeover, so we could have that scenario happening in the weeks ahead once the competition proper gets underway.
There's no doubt, and I think, you know, clubs have been affected through the off-season. Here's the run from Aloiai, and that's a pretty powerful run over the top there of Joseph Taipari. But yeah, there's no doubt that COVID will cause some problems throughout the year. Off the back of what we've seen with the Raiders game today, if the players are tested 4 hours before kickoff, there'll be plenty got to get.
Tigers here looking for their second try of the night. Seems a long time ago now. Tuaimalo scored. Nice play the other end of the field. This one kicked too big. Manly will bring it back out to their own 20 for the restart.
And a Cora just with a chip into the backfield there, but it just kept rolling dead. And gives Manly the 20-metre restart and a chance to work it out of their own end.
Play it here, the Seagulls. Their own side of halfway. Hustling run there. Ray Vaega, the try scorer. He's a strong bullocking type, isn't he? Solid upper body for an outside back. Weeks to the left-hand side. Give it off to Josh Aloiai, who's playing on that left edge in the second half. Come back through the middle. 12 for 4, Sipley. There for the tackle of Zane Musgrove. I think eventually, on the legs, Musgrove got a piece of him. 25 away. Back into the sets. Ackland. Short ball off his hip. Zach Fulton will play it. Getting a chance in this second half. Ackland, a grubber, a ricochet. Sits up off the Tigers. Tuaimalo came up with the ball. Did he hang on to it?
He's knocked it on in goal.
That he has. And it's going to be a goal line dropout by the looks of things.
Yeah, ricochet certainly helped here. Ackland, one of the Tigers, made contact with it with his foot, and the ball comes out there. Manly get a chance to extend the lead.
Matt is in charge of this rookie team with a mix-in of plenty of veterans out there as far as the forward pack is concerned. Plenty of new faces and the outside backs, the Tigers especially, in this second half. Vaega plays it at the 30. In fact, it was only Tuaimalo at the 20. Now Humphreys. Ackland looks inside, goes outside. Weeks keeps it going. A pass from Cooler in the back of one of the Tigers. In fact, there's going to be a knock on here against West. So Manly will hang on to it. It was a laboured movement, it has to be said, to the left-hand side. It didn't look likely. The pass from Cooler. A bit lucky here. Let's watch it again.
Yeah, Tigers player was in the attacking line. It was Alfred Smalley just standing there waiting for the pass. He couldn't hold it.
It's Trey Penny on that right-hand side.
Trey Penny.
The Tigers getting involved as well. An easy mistake, trust me. In this second half, there'll be more of those to come over the course of the weekend. James Hooper will stay with the play for the moment, though, because here are the Seagulls. Ben Trbojevic goes inside the 20. It's a good pre-season hit out for everybody here at Leichhardt tonight. Here is Tuaimalo. He'll go down a couple of metres off the Tigers line. 14-point lead. They could blow it wide open here, or they won't get the chance because putting it down, Romanis was given a bludger of a pass, it has to be said.
Well, it just
wasn't
good enough. It wasn't good enough, was it, the pass? Can't blame Romanis, who just couldn't keep it in his hands.
Well, the scrum about to be set. Now it's your chance, James Hooper. What have you got for us, Jimmy?
Got the West Tigers hard man, James Tamo, alongside me. Warren, Jimmy, how was that out there earlier this evening?
Yeah, felt all right. We kept it real simple, and I felt like we achieved that. We wanted to put some process into place to kick off our season. A few things, obviously, in a trial match we need to work out, but happy with how we went. We work on it next week in the second trial.
A disappointing finish to last year. Has your coach changed much over the course of the off-season?
No, not much. Honestly, we changed a lot in ourselves. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves at the end of last year. So when we come back to training, we knew we had to up the intensity. You know, when we put ourselves under pressure like that and we do it in training every single day, we come out on the playing field, you know, it's something that we can really take a hold of. So that's how we've been training, and you know, the fire's really there since the back end of last season that we really want to do well. We know what's on the line.
Some new recruits. What did you think of Tyrone Peachey and what Oliver Gildart brought to the side this evening?
Yeah, experience. We've got a young group at the moment, and Tyrone Peachey's obviously been around a lot, and Oliver, you know, international player. Peach there in the middle, you know, we know where the game's going. You need that sort of link from the middle to the halves, so Peach will be that good link there. But again, you know, it's up to us in the middle to lay the platform there, you know, for Peach to be able to do his work, to Brooksy and our backyard, our OBs, Oliver there on the outside.
And just before we let you go, has Madge still got the C next to your name, or what's happening there?
Not sure yet. We've just named our leaders in the leadership group, so we've really taken it upon ourselves to not sort of make it, you know, everyone's a leader in our group, everyone's got a voice. You know, I think at the back end of last year we really learnt a lot of hard lessons, and one of them is, you know, everyone can speak up, everyone's got a voice. So we haven't really put anything on it yet, but you know, my job here first is to be a leader to this young group.
James Tamo, thank you very much for joining us. Congrats on the night.
Thank you very much, Sam.
James Tamo there, joining James. Super encouraging words from the skipper-elect, I guess you would say. The skipper for the moment. We'll wait and see if it stays that way. But I think, as he said, the Tigers, given what happened last year, need everybody to stand up and be a leader in 2022. The Tigers have put it down here. Ogden with a mistake on the high ball. And Manly get a chance to go on the attack once again from the Tigers 20. Looked like he was convinced he made the catch.
Yeah, no,
no, he didn't. The Tigers, though, with the captain's challenge.
Well,
Tigers are challenging the knock-on.
Why not?
What's your rule on fullbacks? I mean, you happy with fullbacks to challenge? I know you're pretty tough on wingers.
Tonight, I
and
don't
front
think it
rowers.
matters. Anyone can have a crack.
Okay.
I would think that the Tigers, with only one try, it's worth taking a punt. He's lost it. Whether they rule it's knock on or knock back, that's debatable.
It might have been a second touch obscured. This camera here will show you, I think,
Drops
perhaps going backwards.
In attempting
there,
to catch the ball, Tigers have dragged it forward under the body and lost possession. Challenge is unsuccessful.
So, Jock, Tigers no more challenges, yep. Scrum.
One and done, the Tigers. On their captain's challenge with just over 12 minutes remaining here. Manly 18 points to 4. The Stars were out to play at Leichhardt in the opening half. Tom Travojevic, 2 try assists. Darby Cherry Evans, a big 40-20 as well. It's great to see them in action in week 1 of the pre-season, live right here on Fox League.
Yeah, very good first half.
Chance here to add to the scoreline as they come back through the middle. Strong carry. To Vaega in the middle of the field. Took it towards the uprights. Here's a chance. Reaching out. Weeks will try and put it down. He'll get there. Nice work by Sipley through the middle of the field to keep it alive. It came back to Kyo Weeks, who grabs a 4-pointer for Manly here in week 1 of the pre-season.
Yeah, just one of the middle players, 12 for 4 Sipley, that gives Des Hazard on the Sea Eagles great depth in the middle. They've got some terrific front rowers, Paseka, Marty Tapau, Sean Kepi, Morgan Boyle. The list goes on, and Sipley is one of those. There's the error that gave Manly the ball back. He offloaded to KO Weeks, who was able to get in between defenders. Sipley looked like he was getting there himself, and Weeks in support was too good for the Tigers' defence.
Not before it's cleared by the bunker.
Bunker review on obstruction.
Look at an obstruction potentially in the lead up here. Comes his left-hand side. Sipley in behind the decoy there, which was Viliami.
In close proximity to the goal line, the lead runner has obstructed the Tigers player who could be assisting before this offload takes place. We have a decision.
Viliami Fafita, the offender there. He did run into the Tigers defender, so that's another one denied. We've had a couple of Tigers tries. Now the Seagulls get caught by the bunker.
And I think they were very strict in that interpretation throughout 2021. There was too much debate about instruction plays. If you get to the line and you take the space away from a defender, even though the try was scored maybe 1 or 2 passes wider, I think they were pretty certain that was always going to be red lights, and we've seen a couple of those here tonight as well.
Yeah, I don't think you can have a problem with that. And as they said, in close vicinity of the try line, it gives the defenders no time to recover. And in the end, the right decision's been made by the bunker.
Let's see if the Tigers can show something for their fans here at Leichhardt in the remaining 11 plus minutes of this second half. Here's Madden, again to the right-hand side, showing it there. Hari will work it forward, wrapped up though. Pass along the ground. Safar finds himself in the middle of the field, having started the second half out here on this left edge. Kara from dummy half. Now Madden. Oh, coughed up here. The Tigers turn it over. Oh, Cooler reaching back on the inside, was trying to link up with the Seagull support. There will be a knock on though against the Tigers, and no advantage taken there by Mann.
Yeah, I guess it was a risky play by Cooler, but he knew that it would be called back and they'd get the advantage. So you don't mind him trying something. It's just that pre-season lack of combination, players thrown together as he tries for the miracle pass. Tolu Kula doesn't come off, but it doesn't matter. Manly will get the ball and they take the scrum midfield.
Jamie Humphries now in a scrum roll as a half. Seagulls will have it here just inside the West Tigers 40. Take you through the lineup of games in a moment on Fox League as the pre-season of Week 1 continues around the NRL as we all are up and down the East Coast. 3 games coming your way on the first Super Saturday for 2022. Humphries now at first receiver. Goes through the hands of Ackland. A ball on the outside here for Ray Vaega. Fends away from the tackle there of Junior Tupou. They come again, the Tigers, with help. They stop him inside the 30. Weeks at dummy half from Ackland. And we'll keep it going there through Gordon Chan. Kum Tong, who is on the field, just outside the 20. Chan Kum Tong at dummy half. Sip at the line. Handing it off, ball for Fita. 2 big boppers rolling at the Tigers. The southern end of Leichhardt Oval. Kum Tong again from dummy half. I'll show it. Not much doing. They keep it alive through Humphries. Comes back through the hands there to a Tavaki. Off a Tiger. Play on is the call. He wrapped up there. Aiden Ackland ended up with it. And that will be the changeover. Manly want to challenge this. They figure the Tigers played at it. Belinda Sharp disagreed. Manly will roll their challenge.
On Manly, the decision is last tackle handover, not played at.
Okay, Ackland did get a kick to the ball.
Correct.
It was a... Here's Ackland, who's playing in the halves for Manly. Kicks the ball. Oh, I don't know if he just stood his ground there. He plays at it.
Change of gait from Tigers to play at the ball.
Manly will get the result here.
Manly regain possession cleanly.
Good call by the Seagulls to use their challenge. They will retain
And tackle is
possession
complete.
here and will.
Challenge
Full
is
set of 6
successful.
here from close range. They scored the first try of the game back in the 3rd minute. The Tigers levelled things up at 4 apiece when Tuaimalo scored before the quarter time
Challenge is
break.
successful.
Manly
Number
from that
23
point
to
on.
play it. Tackle 1.
So, full set here for the Seagulls. Chance will one of the youngsters on display at the back end of the game. They have a try in first grade, albeit in a pre-season game. Son of the late great, or rather grandson of the late great Bob Fulton. Zach Fulton playing it right there. Go to the left-hand side, Jamie Humphries. And Jacob Sykes. Play within range of the line. Left up for the Tigers, Joseph Taipari. Here's a chance for Fita. Putting his body on the line, charging at them. Good tackle though. Alex Seyfarth amongst others. Humphries. Come back here to Ackland. Oh, a Tiger went down there. There's a problem. Here is Vaega though up against the sideline. I think he put a foot on the sideline before it went down, but there's a problem for a Tiger who went down untouched. Just changed direction in the defensive line. Didn't quite catch who it was as we watched it, but boy, take a look at the replay here.
Bit of footwork by Ackland and the attempt to go with him back on the inside.
There's Brandon Webster Mansfield out here on this left-hand side, who just lost his footing. One of those wishbone ones where he might have hurt either a hip, a knee. It could be anything given what we just saw right there. That's an awkward one, isn't it?
It certainly is. Bit of rain on the top of the grass. Just saw him slip. Got in an awkward position. I don't know whether it's a medial or any serious. He's certainly in a lot of pain.
Well, when a player goes down like that, untouched though, you always hold your breath. But it didn't look like one of those classic ACL type situations, did it?
No, it
that's
didn't.
To our untrained eye, but we've seen plenty of them over the years. Didn't look like, the one where the knee buckles and the foot gets planted.
No, because he does it as he comes in. But he grabbed the back of his leg there. So it could be a hamstring injury, like a severe hamstring injury.
Yeah, we have seen a couple of those. As I said, described it as a wishbone type situation where the legs end up akimbo and will be taken from the field. Shame for one of the young players getting a chance tonight for the Tigers here at Leichhardt. He's waited until the end. Gordon Chan Kum Tong, former captain of the lower grades for the Sea Eagles. Sort of a mixed heritage, getting a chance tonight. Samoan parents. His father though is half Chinese. Well, obviously within the name, Chan Kum Tong. He's 19 years of age. Dummy half getting a chance here this evening as the Tigers work it across the halfway line to Alex Seyfarth. We're hoping that Boyle situation for Jackson Hastings is cleared up in time for the clash next Friday night in Gosford against the Roosters. You see it live here on Fox League. There's Brandon Webster Mansfield going up the tunnel. That leg checked out, the hamstring potential. O'Kane will play it. Goes there from Matakaura, Madden, covering in behind. Cleaned up though, and a run here. Chance coming back at speed. Bringing it back. Still going here is Alfred Smalley. Bursting onto the ball and eventually wrapped up the ball away to Kyo Weeks.
A great run to get them out of trouble. The other kick was right on the try line there. He got to it before it bounced again.
One of the try scorers, Christian Tuaimalo, will wrap up the game. The boys after full time here, so stay with us on Fox League as we go through the action here tonight in both the Raiders-Roosters affair and also this one between the Sea Eagles and the Tigers. Tuaimalo taking it to the line, ball in hands as well. That's good to see. Chen Kum Tong hands it off to Humphries, a bit of a floater coming forward, knocked on by the Tigers. It'll stay with the Seagulls. Sykes has it. He's only a couple of metres out.
That's a very good set by Manly.
They've had plenty of possession at this end of the field in the second half, but just the one try beyond half-time. Here's Ackland. They go to Cooler, draws and passes. Vaega acrobatically. He's in for number 2. He celebrates it as emphatically as the first one as well. And a double here at Leichhardt for Ray Vaega on the wing for the Seagulls.
Well, that was early plays in that second set, but they did a great job to get it from their own line. And here's the run off his own line. Keeps pushing away. That's Smalley. The offload, KO Weeks. They get down, they get the ball back off the kick. Tigers spilt the kick. Set play out to Cooler. Cooler speed just had them worried. Not much of an effort there. From the outside backs, the Tigers might have been able to get Ray Vaega over the sideline. They slide with him. Well, the dive probably helped Ray Vaega get to the line without any touch from a Tigers defender.
If you're on live TV around the nation and beyond, of course, across the ditch as well, you grab a double, you might as well celebrate it in fine style. Ray Vaega has done exactly that. Kick, awkward one into the breeze for Jamie Humphries. It stays at 22 points to 4. Don't forget, the NRL across the pre-season is partnering with the Australian Red Cross through the trial game. So to raise money for the recovery efforts in Tonga, you can find out more about it by going to nrl.com/Tonga. That try is worth a donation, no doubt.
Outstanding. Outstanding put down. Ray Vaega has been one of the stars of the second half.
Let's make sure you go to nrl.com/Tonga. Donate. The people over there doing it very tough. That situation. In the tsunami in recent times.
They just can't go with the size of the Manly forwards, even the outside backs. They've been easy meters for Manly with their power running.
Sipley will play it here. Hanging it off to Ray Vaega. Down the short side, Ackland. The ball off his hip. Zach Fulton cutting away from the sideline. Goes back there through Aidan Ackland. Son of John Ackland. Coach, of course, with the New Zealand Warriors. Heavily involved with the Warriors outfit for a long time, John Ackland.
He was there right at the start, John Ackland. Very smart football brain. One of the best spotters of talent that I've come across, Johnny Ackland, and a very good coach.
The Tigers a chance here just before full time. Safar works it forward, just outside the Manly 20. All right for the Tigers fans here at Leichhardt. In stark contrast to what they had here in the corresponding game just on 12 months ago. They put on 52 points against the Seagulls. That was something of a false dawn. One of those here tonight. Madden's ball on the outside, getting cut down. Filipaina was a very good tackle there on top of the Manly line, and it was Aidan Ackland who was underneath him. Good stop.
Tolu Cooler was also in there. Very good tackle from the smaller men. Keep the Tigers out.
As the Seagulls work it away from their own end, a reminder of what you have tomorrow coming your way, the pre-season right here on Fox League. Kick things off for the Storm and the Warriors from Casey Fields down there at Cranbourne, southeastern suburbs of Melbourne, followed by the Bunnies up against the Cowboys. That one live from Barlow Park in Cairns. And then the nightcap, the Titans and the Broncos from the Gold Coast. Here is Weeks putting a step on. He went straight past Ogden, still going, eventually wrapped up 25 metres out from the Tigers line. It's Manly who'll get the last save. It comes to Ackland. Cooler on his outside. It goes to Vaega! Ray Vaega. He has a hat-trick here at Leichhardt tonight. that's how this one finishes, with number 3 for number 20, Ray Vaega.
Yeah, he's been a star in the second half. Another diving try from Ray Vaega, but clever work up the inside. Gordon Chan Kum Tong combined beautifully there with K.O. Weeks. The footwork, dazzling from Weeks. Takes the tackle and they come down that right-hand side. And again, it's Tolu Kula who hands the ball off to Ray Vaega. Just the speed to get to the winger, committed. The outside man, and Ray Vaega does the rest. Juggles, controls, gets it down. It's beautiful.
Probably could have put that down a little bit more conventionally, but
Oh, no.
bit of the showman in Raymond Tuaimalo Vaega. Off the back of the work through the middle, K.O. Weeks, who did very nicely. Line break, 58 running metres, and he summed things up beautifully, and then he knew where the ball had to go off the back of that. Humphreys with a kick from out near the sideline. The son of a couple of Tigers playing for Manly here tonight in the NRL pre-season, and at full time the Seagulls too good for the Tigers. A comfortable victory. They've beaten them 28 points to 4.